Alrighty, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Alright, character mic is being picked up just fine, character is moving, background noise is playing, chat is chatting, everything seems A-okay. Nope, wrong button. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mattoon Corner. I'm your host Mattoon, and welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing well. Apologies if I sound a bit out of it. I haven't really been talking much these last few days, and my teeth still feel a little funny after going to the dentist yesterday. But we're here, and ready to get some work done. It has been a kind of a slow week this week, for, work-wise, and also just because I recently bought Pokemon Legends ZA, which has been an absolute blast. Very fun. That's basically my birthday present, because my birthday is on Monday. Yay! The rare Friday match stream. Indeed! Now, for those of you who don't know, because I went to the dentist yesterday, I decided to cancel the stream. I postponed it to today. And there's a non-zero chance, I won't be able to stream tomorrow either. This is because tomorrow is basically like a big event. It's going to be at my folks' church. And it's going to be at 6 p.m., so I won't be here in time for stream. So we probably won't be streaming tomorrow. So this will probably be the last stream up until probably like Tuesday. Maybe I do a makeup stream on Wednesday or Monday. We'll see. What you want for your birthday? Quite honestly, I'm not entirely sure, because what I wanted in particular, I already got for myself, which was Pokemon Legends ZA. I did consider getting a new microphone, like a microphone setup, but that tends to cost around $200-300. So I figured I'll do that later. Later, you know. I'll probably end up getting that for Christmas. But that's a future match problem. I got my water, got my art supplies, got my references open. Time to get some art done. Yeah, mid. I'm so glad ZA is good beside the bad corporate choices. And I'll play, no spoils. I won't say any spoilers. I will say, the one criticism I have of ZA, genuinely, is just the world design. In order to basically, to optimize performance, all the buildings, like the outside of the buildings, they're all basically completely flat. They're just boxes. And like everything like the windowsills, like columns and stuff, are just 2D textures on them. Now, at a glance, honestly, sometimes it actually does do a good job at tricking your eyes. But like when you're running around, you're gonna notice it a lot. The environments in Pokemon ZA are probably the roughest thing about it. But in my opinion, the character models are the best they've been since ever, if I'm being honest. They had the perfect level of detail combined with bright colors. The only thing I wish they do is add like a bit of like a black Okami outline on them. I think that would look really, really good for Pokemon. I think that kind of obviously cell shade style outline on characters will go a long way, you know. But if those like big leaks are true, Pokemon is experimenting with an all new graphical engine, so I really do hope their environment design improves considerably. The new group isn't as charming as the Scarlet Violet crew. You really know, because honestly, while being 100% honest, while it often felt like Nemoda was our friend, while Penny was our friend, Arvin was our friend, it often felt like the three struggled to get along sometimes. I feel like the ZA team just feels more like friends right from the get-go. That's my opinion, at least. Ah, wrong button. I personally really like the Scarlet Violet crew. I'm also curious if there are like any big differences between Urbane and Tawny. I grew in the air 1 area 0 thing of more chemistry than D3 knuckleheads. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. In fairness, I am a little bit ahead of you, so maybe it's one of the promotion battles and their reactions there that probably get mad at that thing. Just because we're going to get into something, we're going to be getting into a bit more with an after your fight. I like Naveen and the Gansey girl separately. I want to throw Bane and Wood Chipper. What's wrong with her Bane? Generally, what's wrong with her Bane? Like him and Tawny, like Tawny at this point has also just been kind of like, I really want to do the right thing. I want to pay you back. I want to do those things. I'm happy to have met you. You're a friend. You're a good friend, and I will hope I can be a good friend too. That's all she's been to me. Is her Bane any different? Okay, so he's more so that kind of character type is boring to you. Noted. That's fair. You know, there are people find May more annoying than Brendan for no reason. It's like that. You know, that's fair. I can't tell you. It's kind of weird how literally just changing characters, like they function the same character but swapping their gender can honestly make people just see them differently. Not even necessarily like in a sexist or even like misandrous way or anything. Anyway, sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's genuinely just like things just come across as more like appealing to you coming from a boy or a girl essentially. Now, does that make sense? You want a friendly rival, they need something to stick out like Hal and Nimona. That's fair. Because the other thing, Tawny isn't even really built as a rival character. She's honestly just kind of built as a friend and guide. Like, yeah, you do fight her, but like, it's never anything like specifically like that. Like, I struggle to even call her a rival. Damn food truck. Yeah, I'll admit, like the early game, like the first like 2-3 hours are kind of like railroaded up into the thing. When the ZA Royale like really picks up, like I'd say it's like rank W or so, that's when the game really like opens up, just kind of lets you do what you want, essentially. And it gets even more so once you beat Vinny, honestly. That beating Vinny unlocks even more wild zones and ends up being really fun. I gotta pick Mega, spend my hard-earned money on crystals or on a Pokemon I don't give a shit about. Grumble mumble. I'm sorry. What Pokemon you mean? There are some side quests where you have to like give a specific Pokemon, and they just kind of says basically you have to build that Pokemon for a bit. I guess that's one way to kind of incentivize people to people who don't religiously complete their Pokedex to get new Pokemon and experiment a little bit. Ridiculous, but like the fact you need a Mega at all. I mean, you have Absol, don't you? Like, you get Absol and it's a Mega. You get a Mega Absol by beating Absol in that whole little story bit. I do, but I gotta carry on my team the whole time because otherwise the game will tell me to go fuck myself. That's fair. Honestly, after a little bit, you do unlock the mega for your you unlock the mega for your starter. So pretty easily. So don't worry about that much at the very least. I was stupid. I was like, oh, I get a stone for my star or something. Hey, stupid ramp up my team. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Honestly, you can beat the Megas in the fights without a Mega Evolution. But at the same time, it says, honestly, is that I find it harder to deal with than, like, dealing with a Dynamax Dynamax / Gigantamax Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Because I'm gonna be honest, the fights being like non-turn based make them so fast, increase the pace of battle by just enough to make it so that you can honestly panic and just let your Pokemon die. Maybe that Piers guy had a point about gimmicks being assholes. Oh no, I think Piers was like. I feel like Piers was justified like in his own game in the post story, where it's like, see, I told you people not Mega Evolution. I told you people Dynamaxing is kind of is just a crutch. This is getting absurd. Yeah. All the Mon on my team can Mega Evolve. The issue is no Stone, they're not fully evolved yet. That's fair. Wait, you talked to... Have you gone to, like, the Quasartico headquarters yet? I know you can buy stones in two shops. You can buy them at there's one shop that the stone shop, that's where you buy fossils too. And there's also the Quasartico ink shop, the Quasartico building where you can get them. You give her a double flex? I can do that. Yeah. I appreciate that you could tell it was Goldie. I figure you're going in order. Yeah, yeah, basically. The arms are a little big. Yeah, I know it's a chibi, it's a low that but you know. keeps talking to me like the Green Goblin mask. I can finally get the Lidwick. No, you want it. You say that they're actually okay. I'm not gonna say it, but like, I did involve my Numble into I did involve my Numble just because I wanted to use the Mega. You unlock his meta later though. It's very fun. That's on my lamp. I feel ya. I feel ya. I was like always so late zone. Put her into cemetery wild zone. It would have fit. It would have. The problem is they tied Lidwick and Chandelure to a certain character. That's all I'll say for spoiler purposes. But that's why. Same reason why I can't find the full links yet. They tied him to the big boy. And these games have a tendency to not let you get certain Pokemon without until you've already seen like the trainer with them. Not always, mind you, not always. But they do a lot. Family business. Yep, I did put the. I do like having the Horror Veil OC as my on here. So. I was like, how bullshit you can call Staryu in the second area. Staryu only spawns in at night. He only spawns at night. Yeah, a lot of Pokemon, they only, it has a general thing of like day-night cycle, or also some Pokemon only spawn daytime, only spawn night. I found Staryu a weird Pokemon to do that with, but you know. But yeah, if you just go there at night, you're gonna see like 4 or 5 of them just there. I also appreciate that, to be honest, it's very easy to just like reload and despawn Mons, honestly. Because stars, alien. Yeah, it's fair. Honestly, if you just like walk around, like, if you kill a Mon, if you just walk around a little bit in that general area, they'll respawn infinitely, basically. Pretty useful for shiny hunting too. The most same reason as Cleffa. Yeah, that makes sense. I always see it more for like the ghost type, types. I understand those spawning at night. The spooky. That doesn't work. Eh. Making a tall girl into a chibi is always a bit complicated. I'm just saying, you can't catch him on until you see the character with the ace bullshit, because you can catch Staryu before fighting Liddy for the first time. Yeah, true. I don't know, I feel like it's sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Like, for example, like, you can catch, like, Scolipede in Sword and Shield before you fight Kafu, but I don't think you can catch, like, Basculegion. But you can't, like, catch, like, Basculegion or Duraludon. You know? If for, like, in Raihan's team. Ace theme, let's go. Yep. Specifically the remix from Masters. I think I kind of like it a little bit more than her base theme, but I just wish it went on for a little bit longer. Gee, Penny, how come you get to have two awesome themes? Oh, what the heck? I'm gonna try to do this like a square thing, kind of like the other ones. I'll just do it long. Why not? Kind of like who has strong, more present personality. Seems he just feels a bit too plain, I guess. You know what? I will agree there. At the same time, like my personal favorite of the Scarlet Violet crew was Arvin, honestly. It was just because I feel like Arvin kind of was like supposed to hit a really good sweet spot of a character who's like a bit abrasive, but like he actually has a story you want to root for him, you know? And back in Gen Civ, the whole one personality trait. I'm not sure if I agree with there quite yet. Just because I have Naveen in particular has probably been the character I've been most interested in. Because the character guy, he was really dedicated to his favorite streamer. He loves like sewing. He loves fashion in general. You can tell he really like struggles to be sociable. He can be a bit prickly, and that stems from his home life, because he seems to have a rough relationship with his grandmother in particular. I was about to say I'm saying this while saying Naveen out of the class. He didn't do it. Okay, that's fair. Again, Naveen definitely seems to be the character who they cook the most with. Lita, there is stuff there, and I do think some more interaction you get with her. You do see a little bit more. You do see a little bit more with her, and her backstory too. Lita feels like she's trying to be. Lita feels like she's trying to be. Lita kind of feels like she's trying to be like the mediator between Tawny and Naveen, who do seem to not get along super well. And now she's her brother, and she also eats all the yummies. Also fair, because yes, there's a lot of Tierno in her, because obviously she's Tierno's little sister. Anyone who didn't realize that just looking at her, quite honestly, get her eyes checked. Someone that is weirdly fun, yet not of the Gen 6 friend crew. I really lead disconnect the Tierno, but also, like, there's barely anything there to work with. Oh, 100%. Like, one thing at the very least people seem to be in agreement is that the ZA team is more interesting than the Gen 6 proper crew, because there really was, like, nothing there. And even now, people are just looking like, what is the point of Trevor? If anything, Trevor is the one who got the short end of the stick of everything. That is not high bar. Oh, no, I know it's not high bar. I'm just saying. entirely down. Nobody likes the Gen 6 crew except people who send Sean out of the class. Basically, once again, the manga doing all the heavy lifting, because the manga actually does give Serena and mostly Serena and Tierno a bit more time to shine. Because Jesus Christ, no one knows what to do with Trevor. Why are you a character? Trevor is if Sharon had no substance. Like Jenny, Trevor is just Sharon, but none of the substance that makes Sharon interesting. I honestly really like going back to Unova. I like how like Adler after you fight with Sharon, Adler's like, kids, man up, kids, stop self-deprecating. Be a man. You can do this. Stop that. Go do your stuff. Stop complaining about everything. Jesus. Oh wait, Joe's here, I didn't realize. And they are currently stuck in ad dimension, so... Let's clean up the sketches here. Came back from ads, what I missed? Not really, I noticed you guys were in ad dimension, I figured I didn't say anything, basically. I did talk about Sharon. How I found, Trevor was just basically like a downgrade from Sharon in every conceivable way, essentially. Sharon, okay, Bianca and Sharon are fine as rivals, but at the very least, like, they had, like, Unova, I have a lot of issues with Unova's structure in general, but at the very least, they tried doing something with their characters, and, like, Sharon, like, when Sharon would lose, like, Adler, pretty sure it was Adler, he was like, man, why are you like this? Stop complaining, you did a fair shot, stop self-deprecating already, man, take the L gracefully, accept where you struggled, and say you're gonna do better, it's not that hard! The Rock Boy X Dumb and a Jen Girl, my beloved. Ooh, you're a Sharon and Bianca shipper? Honestly, yeah, that's fair. They're a very cute ship. Not surprised. There's something there. I don't know if it's a ship, but it's a little something. That's fair. Alright, General Ruff poses out. I'll clean it up and extend it if I need to. I saw a comic on Twitter where Sharon confessed to her after getting the gym leader spot, so was so awkward about it. That's the reason they don't talk for a while between 1 and 2. Honestly, that wouldn't make sense, honestly. Like, I mean, Sharon seems like the guy who, I might be 100% honest, it feels like the kind of, confession. It would kind of be like the confession that happens, they're just, casually talking, after work one day, tired, and Sharon just offhandedly mentions it, and the two keep walking, then Bianca just, takes a few steps, stops, processes what he said, and just goes, huh. Then, a day or two after, she also says she likes him back, and then the two, but, nothing between the two changes, technically, but they are dating, essentially. Does that make sense? That's how I'd see those two getting together. Trainer make worst confection ever. Has to leave Unova. That's a good one. Alright. I think I also have a little bit of a soft spot for the Sun and Moon cast, but mostly because of the anime. Specifically Kiawe, Lana, Mallow, Sophocles. In the game, they're basically the equivalent of gym leaders, even if Alola doesn't have traditional gyms. But in the anime, they fleshed the characters out a lot. They made them really fun. Anime Kiawe is genuinely one of the best characters ever. It's cool because he's introduced as the cool rival character, and then he's just a big he's not even I wouldn't say he's an idiot. More so he's just super focused, you know. Takes it to extreme. I love him. Never watched the Sun and Moon anime. The sumo group is Player, How, Lily, and Gladion. That's fair. Sun and Moon did include Lily. Gladion got to show up in Ore Farm for a bit. And How does show up in the later things, but it doesn't really get much of a presence either. Which is a little sad because How is really cool. But to be fair, the Pokemon anime in general never really did much with the rival character, or they only picked one protagonist character often and just keep that as the character. everything up. Instead of forgetting what they did with Guzman and Luzamine. I'm more against. I'm not gonna go too into it. I'm more against what they did to Luzamine in particular than Guzma. I know we've already had this conversation. That's all I'll say, really. I think my point of the matter is just like the anime is essentially a fandom of its own. Pokemon understands that, so they treat it accordingly. His love for his boy is gone. His story of giving other people's society failed a home. Gone. And for what? To make a Luzamine a kooky mom? A sick joke. Eh. Amy. What else is it? What can I really say at this point? It kind of sucks what they did. It does suck what they did with their stories in particular. They neutered him especially hard. I would have loved to see crazy Luzamine in anime. It would kind of be one of the darker things Pokemon would tackle onto their show. At the same time, I just do like some of the things the Sun Moon anime did in particular. Like, one thing that was heavily criticized about Sun Moon anime was the visual style, which to me, it was probably like the most visually interesting season of the show yet. I really like how Sun Moon looks. Like, online, because Goober Luzamine is funny, but Evil Luzamine was very good. Agreed. Like, it's not even like a Luzamine specific thing too. Or characters like Faba got heavy neutered. Faba is like even like insinuated in the manga that he was the one who effectively got rid of Luzamine's husband. It does think Guzman, which is unacceptable. I'm just playing on that because I like getting to see Guzma shine a little bit as a villain. I think he works better when he is like the big, lovable big brother, but I do like seeing him as a villain. I like seeing different version takes on characters. Even if it does mean sacrificing things a little bit here and there. I'm a fan of Batman. I'm kind of used to there being like a bajillion different variants of him, and some of them doing things I'm not entirely 100% on. Like, that's 100% a me thing. Not different interpretation, different character altogether. Yeah, just like how there are several different versions of Harley Quinn, which are technically the same character, but are functionally a different character. I'm used to that from comics. Like, the version of Harley Quinn from a recent Batman show, The Dark Knight, I think it was called, is a completely different character than the Harley Quinn we're used to. That show even made, like, Penguin a woman. This isn't comics. It's a multimedia franchise. Adaptations, things and changes in adaptations happen all the time. And I'm not saying to like these things either. I'm just trying to rationalize like why these things change and how they happen. Nor I'm saying you need to like the changes that are made. I'm just saying, like, I think I'm a bit more forgiving because I see it that way. It's easy for wanting to be a character like an adaptation be adapted. No, I understand that. I completely agree with you. I'm just all I'm really saying is that that these kind of things end up being some changes over the long run. Those are different writers, etc. They're not gonna like it always. Like, I don't always like it either. Again, just kind of sucks when it happens. Like, there's nothing really you can really do than just, like, shrug and just keep the version that you like in mind and move on, you know? There's gonna be something about it. That's fair. Hey, again, you're not. No one's gonna force you to like the changes they made to Guzma, especially if you just don't like it. I even have if you're not actually going to portray the character. Anyways, no strangers just doing their own characters. True. Like, could you like even in terms of the anime is also no strangers to just taking characters and just changing them considerably for how they were in the games. Like, Silent wasn't even a character in Unova. He was the first gym leader you could fight. It's Silent, right? Yeah, Silent. And they turned him into like his own character for black and white anime. The character between this character has two lines of dialogue or whatever, and a major character though. That's also fair. And at the end of the day, I find these cases of like adaptations to be kind of complicated in general, because it doesn't help that the anime itself also has, like, its DNA is just so different to what Pokemon has reinvented itself as over the years. I feel like doing a straight adaptation of these characters would be a bit dark, all things considered, for the anime. And this is also coming right out of X and Y, which was already which was considered to be like one of the darker Pokemon seasons. Pokemon season. Not necessarily for any particular reason, still I like the usual Pokemon tropes, but they had like more serious moments, and people tend to consider it Ash at his best. Going to Sun Moon, which they made an active choice to try to just like sand off those rough edges in general, basically, to make it more of a comedy. Like, what really gets me is that these aren't changes people just like make like for like a massive franchise. They're just changes they like make on a whim. These things have to be like approved by several levels of bureaucracy and talked about. I find these changes less so like, they're frustrating when they happen, especially if it's a character you do really like, but in general, I find them fascinating when they happen. Like, one example, hold on. Like, this isn't even an anime exclusive thing. Pokemon Special, Poke Special, is well known for basically being these rough adaptations of the games, significantly darker than the anime, and also just having their own continuity, like with the player characters being referred to as the name of the games: Ruby and Sapphire, red, blue, black and white. Like why X and Y. I'm not using their real names. It's stupid. It's Caleb and Serena. Jesus Christ. I find it hilarious that like for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they just straight up replaced Florian. Like, that's not Florian. They just made a new character. I think it's the first time they actually did that. Like, yeah, like, none of these characters have, like, established personality, so they were free to do what they wanted. But in this case, they didn't even take the character anymore. They just made a new one. They just made a new character. Even Pokemon recognizes Florian's design is boring. It's amazing. There They were too busy making Juliana a crackhead. Yeah, like... Oh, where is she? I was getting a picture of her. Juliana, at the very least, got to keep, like, her base design, but they basically just gave her made her personality by making her just really intense and kind of insane. I kind of love her. Yeah. Yeah, again, into Pokemon Adventures, specifically for resting bitch face Juliana. Okay, so honestly, Pokemon Adventures, you honestly can just, like, read any arc you want. There is an overarching plot, but not like the traditional, like, not like a One Piece way where you need the whole story all the time. That's like when they call back to previous things. More so, like, games that are, like, games that have, like, a tighter connection do have, like, a one-to-one connection. Because Scarlet and Violet is kind of its own thing, you can try to just read it on your own. Nah, I keep hitting my mic. I like Pokemon Adventures, especially because they let Arven be more of a character too. They let us spend more time with him, and I love him. God, Scarlet and Violet has a favorite child, and his name is Arven. I swear to God. Now, do you ship Nimona, Juliana, Penny, or Carmine? Honestly, tough choice. Of the three, I'd probably say Juliana is probably the one. Mostly just because I like to ship Penny with Florian. I just find that pairing a bit cute, So of the two, I think three, and Carmine. Honestly, I don't really ship Carmine with anyone, if I'm being 100% honest. I can't even really tell you why. I just don't really see her as a romantic type. Algors, yep. Hey, he's Arven. He's like Arven. He's awesome. Oh, 100%. Like I said, the manga basically also just lets Arven participate in like the Team Star Raid battles. It's very funny. Like when Director Clavel shows up as Clive, Violet, who's the name of the new Florian, design, I guess. He's like completely convinced like it's an actual like student, and Arven's just like, "Are you serious, man?" It's what? Yeah. Like they basically put Arven alongside Florian for the whole plot to let Violet have a straight man throughout his entire story. It's very fun. Not just like a big pretty boy dumbass. Well, not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say pretty boy. Like he's not like he's very full of himself. He thinks he's like the fastest boy alive, essentially. I'm gonna be honest. There's like a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog energy infused in him, And he's also like innocent and like optimistic to a fault, to the point where it generally annoys Arvin a lot. Dumbass, not 100%. He is, that boy is like, that boy is like, that boy has like 2 brain cells. I think one of them went to the Miraidon. Two brain cells that got that's preferred place. Oh, that's perfect. It's like a perfect description of it, actually. Thank you, Crystal. Also, hi, Taco. Happy to have you here. I'd be at work right now. Folks, this is my friend Taco. We're pals from the Nefarious server. We tend to talk a lot about Pokemon, I've noticed. For times, only sometimes. I just did stream on YouTube. Oh, nice!
Just listen what's called the years, the word of the guy who was hated by the god
Just lean.
of failure. Just lean.
Yes, I have a lot of Guilty Gear music. I like Guilty Gear. You know, I just heard the lyrics, man, I'm dead. Man, Taco, you have got to listen to like the Guilty Gear soundtrack. It's genuinely amazing. Like, High Bones and Aura Pill says he doesn't get Johnny. I was flabbergasted. I think Johnny hits like a very is on like a very fine line between like him actually being cool and it just kind of just being a bit like too much to Leon try hard. I think he's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I kind of get if someone like doesn't think he's like all that at the same time, you know. That's what makes him cool. Wraps all the way around twice. See, typically it was. That's how most people do see it. But there are still going to be some people who just don't see that wraparound. Thinks it just doesn't go far enough, or thinks it just doesn't wrap around at all and just stupid all the way through. Not really much you can do. Not really much I can really do or say about that. Someone's not super into it. Let him be. Alright, Red Riding Hood sticks this out. Right here, little cookie, little buns. Buns. Apple one right here. It's a bit more like a cherry, but it'll work. And then a tiny wolf. And Bren read that as Koichi. I was wondering when JoJo entered the conversation. That's fair. Funny you actually mentioned that, because Crystal also doesn't like Koichi from JoJo all that much. He's annoying. Like, at the end of the day, these are just how certain people react to certain character types. Some people can look at the exact same... Like, where's the image? Like this is generally how people... Oh, ad break. Art. Hi, Asher. I'm just sketching out some designs for my pals, Crystal and Joe. We're currently on ad break on Twitch, so I'm not being super talkative right now. So apologies. There's something I want to show, but I got to wait a little bit. I find some anime character stereotypes sometimes annoying, like the one main character syndrome stereotype. That does happen more often than I like to admit. But once the ads stop, I'm gonna like show off like a certain picture I feel is perfectly encompasses like different opinions on some people with the exact same on people like some I don't like or they're just overused a lot. That's fair. Alright, the ads over? Alright, ads are over. Alright, so what I was trying to say, basically, actually, you need to get one character who's like a completely who's like, let's say he does like something like he's the main character. He's the main character, and he ends up like winning a fight through a bit of convenience, and like he brings that up basically to himself. Basically, one person could look at that and think he's like, oh, he's really thinking about how he wants to get stronger. I was like, oh, this little, and our person could be like, oh, this little bitch, stop being a whiny little baby. So like, and all these talks tend to remind me of is this. The exact same character can end up causing completely different reactions out of people. And at the end of the day, you can't even say which is right or wrong, because that's just how people are. That's just how opinions are. We literally call people's opinions in media taste. It's funny when the widespread opinion is the one you can't see. Elaborate there, Taco. I mean, like how it generally said that the Mario Kart World is a good game despite what Twitter wants to tell you and YouTube wants to tell you. Like, it's kind of vibe dropped, and everyone's talking about how Nemono was a Yandere or a stalker. They played the game, and she's the same as every other rival, pretty much. It's like, but this is anime we're talking about, so stereotypes are there. Well, most of both anime and video games in general. Mo's not getting dairy, she's just autistic. I agree with Air, basically, but like at the end of the day, he's just like me, for real, for real. True. We got too good at battling and find someone she can actually do stuff with. That's all she wants. She literally just wants a friend who's more open to less like her interest, basically. Or the most spin. That's fair. As soon as I say that, it changes. I have it on loop. My bad. But yes, like Giovanni, I don't know why they decided to make Giovanni's battle theme so good in Masters, but Jesus Christ. The Masters soundtrack has no reason to go as hard as it does, but it does. So like, this Pokemon will suck out his 50-year-old man as the pinnacle of villains. I mean, is he not? I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, Giovanni comes across as the only Pokemon villain who actually feels like he'd be threatening in real life. Like, every other Pokemon villain is essentially a Saturday morning cartoon character. You come to me. You ever give him the? You come to me on the day of my daughter's birth. My daughter's. I was about to say birthday. God damn it. The day of my daughter's Pokemon battle. I just like how the collective reaction of the Pokemon fans saying is, how many times do you have to teach you this lesson, old man? Stardew Valley has stereotypes in the game, like Sebastian's a self-shut-in emo nerd who's always on his computer or goes out in the rain or smoke. I can play with my but I can play. Counter argument. Unk still got it! True. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine, Asher. I'm basically just playing Legends ZA because I got the game for my birthday. My birthday's in a few days for context. I decided to just buy myself a present early. It's been very fun. I go first. I shall return. Oh, good. Like, I remember when Giovanni got added to, like, Masters. It was, like, a big thing because, like, it was the first, like, playable villain character. Shout out to Vol's battle theme and Master. By the way, Jen preferred to his OG theme. I think my issue with that is just because, like, you think the Gen 5 remakes will ORAS designs again, since apparently Diamond Shine Pearl was shine on purpose? From what I understand, it wasn't that was meant on purpose. They generally thought, from what I read of the leaks, they generally thought that outsourcing BDSP to another company would help ensure quality. And it didn't. By Jove, it didn't. I feel bad. I understand and believe that Game Freak didn't, like, these people don't intend to make a bad game, and they certainly didn't want to make a bad Sinnoh remake. But I do hope, but I have a couple. Like, I feel like Gen 4 was the last gen you could do big redesigns and remakes. Maybe? Nah, man, give N a fidget toy. To be honest, I'm genuinely curious if how would redesigning N even work? Honestly, because N is such an iconic Pokemon character, that'd genuinely be very difficult to pull off. And, like, I'm not even, like, a big Gen 5 guy. I like Gen 5. I think it has a lot of good ideas. I think the story meanders a little bit. Oh, see, if they remake Black and White, do you want them to only remake Black and White 1? Or do you want them to include 2 in the mix? Like bundle both games in a single remake, essentially. Like a story 1 and a story 2. Guzma, my glorious king's theme is playing. I had to include Guzma's theme. It's a very good one. Hey, we're talking about Pokemon. Pokemon music plays, of course. It's Destiny. Well, Matt, think about it. What is there to really add to Gen 5 leader designs? I think we could probably do, like, I don't think it's necessarily what they could add, more essentially. More so, how would they redefine? How would their design sensibilities change, essentially? Because that's what I've known. Okay, so there's a YouTube channel I watch called by a guy named TB Skyen. He basically does, like, design deep delves on stuff, and he's recently been doing a long-range series on different Pokemon, and particularly, like, Pokemon trainers and characters, how much their design tends to change over time. Especially, like, it's always in the little details where characters tend to change, and also some characters who don't change much at all. Like, one of my favorite character evolutions in this character is one of the characters who has probably changed the least in this entire franchise is Blaine. I hope you got Burn Heal! I like doing that joke. I like that joke. Blaine is a character I find fascinating because he's essentially stayed the same character throughout every appearance he's had. Blaine's always like this big patriarchal scientist fodder figure, basically. Which the only thing they've honestly changed over time is like letting his tie be a bit singed over time, just giving him more like splashes of color. With the exception of like I think it was like Gen 4, I think, around the area. Where they just gave the guy a different suit. But this is like where they redesigned like all the Gen 1 trainers to be completely different, so that makes sense. One free I'm playing up to add a lot. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, especially with how many just the fucking guys there were. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon reminds why they did those redesigns. Oh, 100%. Especially for Archie. Archie absolutely got a Gen 2 4 design where they made him kookier old man. Agreed. Oh yeah, Archie's probably the biggest example. Like, man, think the absolute upgrade. You went from this absolute clown of a character who's literally just a guy in a suit. I'm hardly even a suit either. To futuristic pirate Captain Man. Also, they gave him melanin. Well, artists say the Omega Ruby Alpha Society, so evil leaders look worse. Okay, I hard disagree there. If I were to have one critique on for Archie, I would have liked that they leaned a bit more to like pirate look, especially in particular like his lower body, especially. I get it's meant to be a wetsuit. I get that. I just personally think I would have preferred them lean a bit more to the pirate vibes. But this is absolutely a complete 10 out of 10 redesign, genuinely. I can't even say much about Maxi. I do also think Maxi is a much better redesign compared to his old one. But though they didn't do anything nearly as hard as they did with Archie, they really just like cleaned up his suit and gave him glasses. Like honestly, that's all they really had to do for Archie. And I think not Archie, Maxi, because I think Maxi already was a pretty solid design, all things considered. Like, he does look more like an evil organization leader than Archie did. So I think there was already stuff here. They already just cleaned up the design a little bit. You know? Yeah, they actually made him look like a scientist. Exactly. Anyway, back to good old Gretel. Looks like a cult leader in the OG, to be honest. Are they not cults? In a cult, basically, one wants to completely eliminate the Earth's ocean, and one wants to flood the Earth. Sounds kind of culty to me. Certified dumbest evil leaders intelligent-wise. True. No, that's why they're great. I mean, this is my complete humble experience. The absolute bottom tier villain in this entire franchise is still Lysander. What if we did Cyrus, but with X and Y's terrible writing? That's it, get Lysander. Lysander said, "Fuck being subtle," and made a death ray. I'll give him props for that. For that. But like, man, why are you like this? There's no reason for all this. Or a life ray, I guess. Like, here's my thing. I think X and Y has like strong things. It was the first like full 3D Pokemon game. I do think it has like a lot of things to be praiseworthy. The life death ray is pretty sick, you gotta admit. Yeah, but Cyrus wanted to summon God, and then he ended up summoning the devil. That's even cooler. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm very biased towards Cyrus. I'm very biased towards Cyrus. I think Cyrus is, like, my personal favorite Pokemon villain. Team slaps too. Agreed. Lysander is funny because Mass is hell-bent on convincing you that he's redeemable. How? Like, how is Cyrus redeemable? The man was running an MLM death cult. You had to pay $5 million to join Team Flare. The man was literally running an MLM death cult. Who wanted to bring the end of reality. Not the end of reality, like the end of knowable life on Earth. His introduction event has him trying to murder Sycamore, Serena, Caleb with Vital. He didn't mean to. He was counting down his event. Sycamore and Serena mope about how they can totally change and secretly a good guy inside. I don't know what Sycamore sees in that man. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I understand why people ship Sycamore and Lysander. Sycamore seems to be hell bent on saying, "Oh, he's a good guy. I can fix him." Gee, you sure, man? I think Sycamore wants to fuck him, yeah, which is fair. Villain arc. He's slightly less genocide now, which is fair. Vayne being villain arc. Yeah, it's fair. And I generally think X and Y had like the weirdest Pokemon writing. I don't even necessarily think it's like a fully a writing thing. I generally think there's like some bad translation issues going on. Because some things in that game just don't really make sense to me. Plus, have polka dots. This thing have polka dots. Looking alive. There's also good Volcanion is ready to kill people with it. Gee, thank you, Lysander. I guess my thing about that's what infuriates me about Lysander. I can't even say that he's a good villain. His motivations for wanting to make a new world just like he doesn't like that he just does find some people unpleasant, basically. Unpleasant ability. You know what people do, what you should do if you find everyone around you unpleasant? Go to therapy. Talk to someone. Probably device a little too proportional, I think. That's fair. Hold on. Like, no, that dude's just insane. Absolutely. Lysander, I do not see Lysander redemption arc in the slightest. I don't think the character... I mean, I also hate everyone, but we forgive him. No, Cyrus is different. Cyrus didn't just want, like, hate people, find people around him inconvenient. Cyrus hated everything. Lysander didn't just want to like end life and reset life on the planet. Cyrus wanted to remake the universe into nothingness. He hated his existence itself. It's so over the top that it honestly wraps back, and the fact that like that there are creatures in Pokemon that can do these things, wrap it around to just being like, oh god, is this guy okay? Like I really want to see where this goes with this guy. He's not an attempted child murderer. Yeah, I also won't say that because he does try to. He does get mad when the lake spirits help you out. So. I didn't say a crow about that, smart guy. Here's the thing, like that's exactly the point. No, that's exactly the point. Cyrus has emotion to him, emotion that he doesn't even like to admit. That's what makes him more compelling. You see that from his interactions with his Pokemon. Even some of some of his grunts talk about him and towards him, even in the anime too. Funny enough, Masters did redeem him. He chose to research how to complete the human spirit rather than remake the universe. Exactly! Even Cynthia sees good in him, and I can believe that because I feel like his problem is a bit more like soul search. It's a bit easier to wrap your head around with some soul searching and genuine people than just like Lysander, who just needed a good therapy session. I had a random going. I think I might only be able to do line art today, but that's fine. I will say one thing about Cyrus, I still remember his ace, so that knocks him points compared to Joe's Rhydon, Archie and Maxi Sharpedo cameras, and gets his Hydra gun. That's also fair. His ace was a Weevil. Was a Weavile. Pokemon, Cyrus, Ace. I'll look this up. Hold on. Yeah, it looks like it's a Weavile. In the box, legendary for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. He doesn't have Weavile and Masters, it's Palkia and Darkrai. Yeah, I figured that much. I know this is a hot take. He should have had Giratina, not Cynthia. I get that the Cynthia one was kind of like was essentially a teaser for Legends ZA. I'm still of the opinion it should have gone to Cyrus. Cynthia Giratina was legit just a marketing ploy. Like, it makes more sense for it to go to Cyrus. He's the one stuck in the chaos dimension, in the dimension of death itself, but just paradise for the guy. I guarantee it wasn't relevant to this. Who Sui gang showed up again? They literally just did that. Did Lusamine have an actual ace, or was it Nihiligo? Yeah, her ace Pheromosa. I remember when Pokemon was when Sun Moon was coming out, there was a theory that the Lusamine, Gladion, and Lily were all actually. I spit on my screen. Lusamine, Lily, and Gladion were meant to be like human versions of the Ultra Beast. Kind of glad that theory turned out wrong. I feel it'd be very funny. Was it Clefable? Is that why I did that one joke in Pokemon in the anime, where Lily's like complaining to her mom, like, you evolved her Pokemon to Clefable without my permission. That was cute. Can't be intimidated by Guzma's Golisopod because of the anime. What are you talking about? The anime literally gave Golisopod like one of the coolest moments ever. The anime made first impression look good. I did saw Fire Blast deals neutral damage to Fruit's Guzma Sizer added. That was really stupid. Like, man, it made first impression look good. I'll always give it that. We don't claim anime Guzma. Yeah, Taco Crystal's not big on the anime adaptation of Guzma. I'll let's just leave it there. I watch much of the Alola anime, to be honest, which is also fair. Again, I like the Alola anime just because I liked how I generally liked how much better the animation and everything. All I know is Lusamine's a girl failure, and I dig it. I like Goofy Lusamine. I still feel like my favorite adaptation of her is from the manga. That adapts her pretty straightforwardly. Really shows the thing of any Pokemon as someone's favorite. I like the art of I like this one art of this one comic I saw of Guzma, like finding the pre-evolution to Golisopod and just raising him. Both like little guys like skirted by the system. 2 down, and it's 9-10 already. Jesus, I'm a little bit behind. I do like how they picked Starmie and Scratchy for the Team MZ Aces. Agreed. Starmie was nice to see. Starmie is always nice to see. I feel like Starmie's like a Gen 1 Pokemon who doesn't get as much love as he should, honestly. Like, everyone likes Starmie, but everyone likes Starmie. I'm sure he's some people's favorite, but I always feel like he gets like sidelined, even with how much like Gen 1 gets like they ride Gen 1 basically, you know? Like, I don't think anyone like dislikes Starmie. That's the thing. The same thing with Scrafty. Scrafty, like, I feel like Scrafty a lot of people like cared about. It's funny you say that, because Starmie was Misty's ace and masters. Scrafty stuck on an acid flute alt though. Yeah, true. I'm just glad Scrafty is here, and he actually has like a really fun Mega Evolution too. And thank God they didn't make it. It doesn't look like a Klansman. They made my man to Eminem. I get the idea that the shed skin dried up, but damn, that's unfortunate. Yeah, like, when people, like, the description of the Mega Evolution came out first, and when they said that it turned white and basically started covering his head, people were like, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this. But thank God, that wasn't the case, you know? And that was cool seeing you drop for once. Wait, I missed the next one. Return to a full hoodie. I just wish they changed his face a little more. I would like it if, like, his little like pompadour like increase a little bit, you know? I think that'll be a fun. I think that'll be a fun tweak. I know how I feel about ZA Megas essentially changing a couple of things. I feel like some ZA Megas are very good. Some of them not so much. I feel like they're like ups and downs. They're like, I feel like the Megas in ZA are a lot more hit and miss in some care like Omega Ruby Apple Sapphire, where we got new Megas too. Like, the first three Megas of the Megas that got shown. Mega Dragonair, Mega Hawlucha, and Mega Malamar. I think they're fantastic Megas. Like those are like some of the best Megas they could start off with. Of the three, like, Dragonite is kind of the weakest one, but like it does connect him to like the previous evolutions, which is what they wanted. Is in Mega Mawile, they only give her 2 hair mounts and not done anything with the body. Yeah, that honestly does kind of seem like the thing. Like, in fairness, I've also always found like Aerodactyl's mega to be kind of weak. There have always been weak megas, but I definitely feel like ZA has more misses than hits. So again, for Link's new armor, taking position, that's 100% fair. But I can't help it. I just love my little boys. Man, Link's right now is some bullshit strategy Ash would pull. Yes, and I love him for that. Like, I'm also the opinion of some. I'm also confused, like, some megas who didn't. Some Pokemon who didn't get megas. Like, what do you mean Aegis Slash didn't get a mega evolution? It's Aegis Slash. Like, as much as I glaze Aegis Slash. You guys know he's my favorite Pokemon. Like, he's also widely considered by the community to be just one of the coolest Pokemon in the franchise. He's just cool. And they didn't give him a mega? You had the perfect opportunity! I like Mega Chandelure, but they could crank it up more. I also agree. At the same time, like, Mega Chandelure just feels like the most natural, like, progression of a Mega. Because, like, how do you make a Chandelure for a Chandelure? You turn him into a full Chandelure, not like a little tiny one. Like, Mega Chandelure is a good Mega, but at the same time, it feels very safe compared to other Mega Evolutions, basically, you know? Glass is make it more menacing, in my opinion. Somehow. Honestly, yeah, that would be cool if they did like more things with the glass. That would be fun. And now he gets a funny hat, a lot more arms. Like, I do also have a soft spot for, like, I'm gonna say it, I like Mega Feraligatr. I think I like the idea behind him a lot more than the execution. But because of that, like, Feraligatr ends up getting my second favorite of the, being my second favorite of the new starter Megas. That's because I find him more interesting than Meganium, who they just made Meganium but more. You know? They need to look a bit more like a shooting star or a cape or something. Honestly, yeah, like it's a star. Like I get it's a reference to Starman from Earthbound. You can tell by like the way it poses and the fact that it is like a psychic star. I get that, but they could have made it look more like a Starman. I guess. Does that make sense? Anyway, my complaint is the fact it doesn't look enough like a Starman. I didn't say make it look like more humanoid like a Starman. Just do more. So there's gotta be an internal thing where they don't want it to be too close in fear of going, like Pokemon's design rules stealing. Honestly, that's not impossible if I'm being 100% honest, because Pokemon does seem to be very precious of their designs. Also, this is something weird. They do all seem to be precious of like taking designs from other stuff in general. And really, these things they can't just like very easily claim as an inspiration. Does that make sense? Off topic, hot take. I think Pokemon needs to be more comfortable putting late game on early game in future gens. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Like you've been telling me about your struggling to find a Lidwick. Really sucks that it's so late in the game. Why is stuff like Lidwick, LGM, or AI I've stuck post batch 6? Plus some more mixed Pokepools. Agreed. I also like it if like more Pokemon gym challenges. I like more like variety in their have more variety in their like their move pool and like their Pokemon type pools. I like more like do a lot more. I don't know. I feel like they could do like more. They can play around with like typing a bit better, especially in a game like ZA where like positioning and also is like a big part of strategizing. Okay, really? So he's one of my quick friends. I love her. One more of that. Yeah, I agreed. Well, if you're a Swine-Up fan, suck titties. Yeah. Yeah, sadly, like, late game mons being late game is always a little annoying. It's also a little annoying when you have, like, an early game mon, but he only spawns, like, a very specific place, and it's very hard to get them also. I'm Junior earlier. That shit was cool. Nice. That's why I always say like Pokemon has a lot I do think they need to improve. I've come across, I know sometimes I come across like a big Pokemon defender. Pokemon is not perfect by any means. Haggie's head look a little small compared to her Red and things. A little bit. I'll make it a bit bigger. Also, that just I felt like it helps sell the little alien look she has going for her. Like anyone in particular, these designs in particular, Matt. I think I'm particularly fond of Kaguya's in particular. There's something about space stuff I actually have a very big fondness to. I seen a ref that Joe sent me for. I really liked it. I really liked it. Second probably be a Goldie. I really like the buff blonde woman. She looks fun. She feels like the kind of character would be a bit of a jerk. Looks fun. I think Pink and Red was a cop-out since I helped like build her original reference. Oh, good old Gretel.
Vegetables I don't like. The town inside me and everyone's voice. Only I'm not there, just watching from afar. I can go home, cause I'm afraid something will change. Me without me, I'm the one to blame. I'm not waiting for Santa Claus. I already have the gift, just can't open the box. I know all about it, no one can solve it unless I decide to do something about it. It's not even a case. I've been patient, but it was bearable. I've had the gray haze for a long time though. I never found out what it was. I hate the alarm clock I chose. The town is like me, and everyone's voice. Only I'm not there, just watching from afar. I can go home because I'm afraid something will change. Be without me, I want away. My body is light.
German girl eats sweets and plays Fortnite. Yippee!
I know who you are.
I mean, that was me and our mutual friend who suggested it. Sure, that was me thinking with my noggin.
The town is like me, and everyone's voice. Only I'm not there, just watching from afar. There is nowhere to go back, nowhere to go. It's all delusional. Be without me. I go home, the place where I belong. No matter what changes, no longer change me. No matter what change, no longer change me. I can feel the light after the sun goes down.
You can call me Miku. Blue hair, blue tie, hiding in your Wi-Fi. Open secrets, anyone can find me.
Hanaguchi made a Miku song? Yeah, that one. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh, ooh. Oh, I didn't realize. Neat. Awesome board night. I got muscle guys, she's still chubby. He said muscle chub. I found out that's what we wanted. Kind of like I was trying to think how you did Gage with the Gage in Punchables. Like strong chest and arms, low tummy. Oh, that's what you mean. And that's what you always meant this whole time. You could have said that and said that much, you know. Might have been a bit easier for me to wrap my head around. You're fine. But I will have to ask you. Can you send me a bit of a... How exactly did you draw, like, her little cravat thing? I'm seeing it, but I'm trying to struggle, like, how to, like, shape that myself. That's why I decided to just go down for the rest of her body. Admin, shoot. Are we out of the ad dimension apocalypse? Are we out of ads? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Alright. Okay. So, like... Okay, Lysander versus Rose. Is a rock really that much better than a big stone? that's really... that's how it comes across to me. They both suck. It's kind of... Honestly, I'll tell you which one's worse, like on like a coin flip. I like to think Galar had generally better writing than Kalos, mostly because like a lot of the dialogue actually felt more legible compared to some of the weird translation in Kalos. I find Lysander's reasoning more stupid. I find Rose's reasoning to be, why? Why are you just why? Like, what? Why are you like this? Like, yeah, Lysander does a few things in Marvel. Why would you purposely start the apocalypse? It's stupid. On the other hand, it has given me a very cool idea for him. So I've mentioned my idea for like a Pokemon fighting game. How it would be like established trainers and their aces. I always imagined like Rose would be a DLC character, and his character would be Eternatus, and his Pokemon would be Eternatus. So it'd be like Rose and Eternatus. And I also kind of imagine like each character would have like a title, kind of like Guilty Gear has, and his would be Chairman of the End Times. And that is a title that is far too badass for this character, but I can't believe it actually. I feel like it actually would work. Like, come on, Chairman of the End Times. That sounds awesome. So honestly, like, depending on the day, I'll generally say which one is better than the other. I think this immediate second, I may be leaning a bit more towards Rose, just because I do have there are some things about Rose I like, but it's mostly nothing that's in the game itself. Yeah, wait, so in my Evo, if I pick Metal Caparanja would be a good character, but again, I would like Chairman Rose to have Eternatus as a partner in that fiddle. One of these days, I'm gonna make like a tier list and just go over my idea for like a Pokemon fighting game. How I have several different character duos I envision. Like, tell me one gen, I'll try to come up. I'll give you a character I might have fought for the fighting game. Gen 2, Silver and Lugia. Silver, I always imagine he'd be like a DLC. He'd be a DLC character. So like probably, admittedly, Gen 2 is probably the gen I have the least attachment to personally. So admittedly, I'm kind of lagging on, but I always imagine Silver will be a good fit. I figured I give him like one of the box legendaries too. So Lugia it is. Okay, everyone's getting legendaries. No, not everyone. Like a Red would still have Charizard. Would be Charizard, of course. Blue, Gary, not Blue. Gary would have Pidgeotto. Pidgeot, I'm sorry. B would have Machamp. Steven would have his Ace Metagross. Pseudo legendary, I guess I could say there, but you know, Steven would get Metagross. Wally would get Gallade, because yes, I imagine Wally would be a character. I just wanted the idea of like continuing Wally's quest story in like an obscure side game. That'd be funny. It wouldn't be the first time Pokemon's done it. if you put Larian, would he get Staraptor or Flamigo? Probably Flamigo, because I would like the characters to kind of still be kind of like represent Pokemon from their respective gens. So even though Staraptor is his first name, I feel like Flamigo would be a better fit for a fighting game character.
Shiny one knows that the freeze and yes. Across all time I see you turning the tides. And do you see now our time, our turn, we can still fight like the wind and fire. And wonder no more, that now is the only time your heart is mine. Light has fallen, darkness grows, and yes, we fight for our destiny and fate. New day smiling for the past and future. Break the chains, lead the way, fight with me.
You get Incineroar specifically with the Master Royal, because I thought it would be fun to have Kukui and doing his whole Master Royal garb. All Gen 6 and 9 gym leaders has to lead the roster. Yeah, I guess in hindsight, like B is already through a wrench in those plans, because she would have him a champ, like I'm a champ. So okay, that plan is kind of fell by the wayside. But yes, Larry would have Flamigo specifically. I can already see Serena with a pin over her shoulder.
Show me that you are still the only one that matters for me. I'll be waiting.
Like Serena would probably have Delphox, because I always saw Caleb as having a Greninja and Serena as Delphox. And for another Kalos character, Corina with Lucario. I thought it'd be kind of funny to have like Sir Aaron to be in the game, but we're never getting Sir Aaron in the games. So I feel like that's probably the safest bet. Personally, I think assuming you implement the character fight alongside the Pokemon, yeah, Corina would be best. She is the person that introduces Mega Evolutions. Plus, Rosuke shenanigans to make for a fun move. No, my idea was kind of like... My idea wasn't like a JoJo fighting game. My idea was mostly that you did control, like, the Pokemon itself. Kind of like that one fan-made Pokemon fighting game. But the trainer would basically be the one calling out their moves, and they would show up for, like, the big special attacks. Corina of Lucario, Maylene sucks in shambles. I'm sorry, Maylene. Those comment was cool. Another example, Sabrina and Alakazam. Like, that's one I genuinely want. Just because I can imagine, like, Sabrina's, like, ultimates basically being Alakazam, sucking the entire universe into a black hole, then it just cuts to Sabrina, like, holding it in her hand and crushing it. So basically just give her Dormammu ultimate. That's God of War thing. Well, yeah, but I just like the idea of like a psychic Pokemon doing all that stuff, you know. That's God of War thing, not Alakazam. Let me dream. Alakazam was the original. I was gonna say, isn't that literally just Dormammu's level 3? Yes, it is. I was very much inspired. Giovanni would have Mewtwo. He'd be a starting roster character. Kind of like, oh, we're giving new characters legendaries and all that stuff. Like Mewtwo would be like the first legendary shown off for the game, and of course he's with Giovanni because why wouldn't it be? It's Giovanni. I have to glaze him up. Right on Stardust company. I've also just, I'll be honest, that was 100% inspired by his duo in Pokemon Masters, where it is like Giovanni and Mewtwo. Right on Starks are in shambles. Also, a random thing. This is okay. So this is what I really thought was funny. Ingo, like the Subway Master, but specifically the one from Pokemon Legends Arceus. So like the guy his character intro would be like him jumping through a portal, landing, him in like his tattered cloak, and a Sneasler just popped, like the Hisuian version of the new Hisuian evolution just popping in behind him being his character. The timeline's in shambles. Hey, rolling up into Starmobile like Asgore. I feel like that would be like your character intro, but she'd fight with her Sylveon. Because I feel like of all the Pokemon, of all the evolutions she has, I feel like Sylveon's the one that's most associated with her. So it tracks. It's her ace, yes. Exactly. She's a trans girl. Exactly. Honestly, you should probably have some with a weird spin-off in a perfect world be Coliseums, but it's gonna be Legends. It's funny because like Pokemon Company actually does consider Legends to be like mainline entries. Even they are considered like separate series, you know? And then we'd have Cynthia and Garchomp. I'm not the biggest fan of Garchomp. I've said this before. But it's with the Umbreon Espeon duo character. Oh, that'd be fun. I actually consider that actually. I guess like we could have like a pure Mifra character. That'd be fun. I'm not big on Garchomp, but Garchomp is too popular of a character to not put. So like Cynthia and Garchomp 100%. Okay, now here's the character here's one I've been doing some thinking about. I basically I would want Deoxys in this game. The thing is, Deoxys being an alien, like an actual, honest to god, a space alien, without any, like, who literally just shows up there to mess up the Earth, I struggled to, like, find a character to associate with him. And then I remembered Gray, the one creepypasta from the Pokemon creepypasta. What if instead of, like, Gray, what if it was essentially just, like, a nameless, no-name trainer who, basically, Deoxys isn't, like, captured by him, is effectively, like, puppeting from inside of him. Like, Deoxys, like, infects him, and whenever he needs to come out, he just, like, bursts out of the dude's mouth. Like, let Deoxys, like, lean into, like, the alien body horror, basically. Like, the guy's, like, intros, like, him, like, walking all shaky, like, raising his hand, going, like, help me! And then, like, Deoxys just, like, slowly bursting out of his mouth, basically, to fight. I want Deoxys to kind of be, like, a body horror thing. Because I generally feel like Deoxys has, like, so much potential for, like, horror monster energy. I feel like they don't capitalize on that. Zappa Deoxys, diabolical. Basically, yeah. And like his victory animation would be like him, like going back inside the dude. Him also just strolling a bit more, him saying run. Then Deoxys just shoots back out again towards the camera. I like he's trying to infect everyone. He's basically like Deoxys is an invasive species. That's why. So it'd be a fun way to, like, include Deoxys as, like, a villain without, like, us having to associate him with, like, a specific, like, team or evildoer or that kind of thing, you know? Like, Deoxys is the villain. I get a desire for one to include, but man, that's a lot. I'm just spitballing my ideas for this thing. That's probably like the darkest little bit I've touched on this entire concept, basically. It's never gonna happen, mind you, but like a man can dream. trying to think of something else. Of course, I had to include Zinnia, but I'm also gonna include Zinnia from Pokemon Master. Oh, and my tablet, my tablet down. Zinnia from Pokemon Masters, which means she gets to use Rayquaza. I just want to see Rayquaza in a fighting game, man. That'll be funny. You did, he was in Brawl. I want to play as Rayquaza. I don't want to fight him. I don't want to just fight him. I want to play as him. Even if I get Fuzzy mixed up, I want to play as my big boy. Momentum Fighter Roxy Whirly People would be rad. Ooh, I actually didn't consider that one. Like Unova honestly is another one that kind of got the short end to stick a little bit from me. Like I wanted Sharon and oh my god, the name of the Pokemon escaped me. The big dog Pokemon that he has. Sharon and Stoutland. Like Sharon Stoutland, I thought it would be fun to have him.
You can call me Miku, hair blue, tie, hiding in your Wi-Fi, open secrets, anyone can find me. No music,
As you Sally uses this Bianca's dog. He used Stoutland in Gym Leader tournament. Merge layers. That's Bianca's dog. That's fair.
what's it like to be you? 2020, looking in the rearview. Make me feel like Superman. You can do anything you want.
One idea I did have was like Elisa and Zebstrika. The problem is I feel like I'm too reliant on electric types. Too. Because I also had the fun idea of like also including like legit Ash and Pikachu. Because that would be kind of like a big celebration of like Pokemon in general, even to include Ash. I guess Whitney Miltank will work for a better rollout fighter. Rollout is pretty much the standard for Miltank. And now letting ZA, I can include Ivor actually, the big gym leader, the big fighting type dude, because he has Phalanx as his ace. No idea. What is it? Do you be able to switch out trainers like different background animations and different intros and outros, given that they both share a Pokemon? That makes sense. I mean, my idea of it was basically the way I basically structured was like in Dragon Ball Fighters, where it was kind of just like it was like a 3v3 tag game more or less. But each character would have like a specific Pokemon around. I have been playing a bit around with the idea of like swapping a character and its Mon a bit. Like, is that what you mean? Like swapping of what Mon is associated with a character. Even like an idea for like solo Mons, like Mons I just couldn't think of a character to associate with at all, basically. It's like Lapras, you could pick Lorelei or Melanie. Oh, that's what you mean. I hadn't really considered that, actually. But actually, this sounds pretty fun. I'll play around with that idea later, actually. I'm just gonna, like, swipe that idea from you. Thank you, Crystal. This is mine now. I still can pick Player Lacey. Alright, got all the girls sketched out. This one took a bit longer than the other one, mostly because like these are a bit more more involved designs. I want to do a good job. I got them all sketched out. What do you two think? Ooh, what you say, Joe? For some reason, my stream quality drops significantly. But I can see to look good. I'm just gonna DM it to you. Why not? Hold on. I'm gonna send it to you easily just to make it so you can tell me what you think. Hold on. Where are you, Joe? I think it's been a while since we DM'd. Oh, there you are. I was trying to look for the Proto Man profile picture. I didn't realize you changed it. My bad. Wake messed you up too? Oh, 100%. Alan Wake! That's a fun. Nice. What? Oh, it's Cinema Nos. Yeah, Alan Wake kind of messed me up a little bit. Yeah, no, they're very cute. Alright then. In that case, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. It's already 10 o'clock. It's already 10 o'clock. Not much I had time to do much, so I'll probably finish this up tomorrow. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, everyone. And remember to always be cool and be creative.